anything on Horace, so I'm gonna go check and see, because I didn't change anything for Horace at all. Um, for me, it shows that he does have IFX. That's what it's telling me here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking right now at Horace's stuff, and he is able to create according to my menu right here. Let me see. Sorry for not being fast at this. I am brand new. So, but this is a good opportunity for me to learn. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see. And wow, okay. I don't even have my watch. We only have a few minutes too. Um, let me see. Okay, tell me again which thing he was having a problem with. This not the IFX, but the other thing. Oh, the labels. To label the character. Let me see. Oh, sticky notes. Okay. Let me take a look. Okay, let me see. There we go. I think I just clicked it on for Horace. Nobody else has them though. Well, Horace does. So
You're done forever. Who are you?
What am I doing?
Get away. Get away. You're done.
I do believe that's what she wants. However,
Wait.
their time was cut short, so I will let her know what
Don't run
happened.
away. Don't run
So
away.
it
Don't
won't
run away.
fall against the kids.
You're cooked forever and ever
Thanks for
and
your
ever.
work.
Wait, what?
Okay,
You'll never be
everyone,
uncooked.
we only have like
No, no,
it
it's
saves.
ma'am. No,
It's
it's
literally
not.
stopping, dude.
No. Okay, wait. Stay right there, MJ.
I'm
Stay
not
right
getting up
Even
until we have to
blue.
right
leave
there.
because
Stay right
last
there.
time I got
Stay right
shooted up
there.
like
No.
a volcano.
That was funny.
Volcano. That was hilarious.
Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And that mockingbird won't sing. Mama's gonna buy.
Miss my VR like crashed out and kicked me from the session.
Low key, what was that all about? I'm actually so confused.
I think Aiden's like leaving us.
That was not very amusing.
Aiden
Yeah,
Figueroa, bro.
I was screen recording. Aiden's lucky couldn't. I have three-minute screen recordings of Aiden.
We need to get Aiden Figueroa expelled. It's
Yeah,
all
Mr.
Aiden
Graham is
Figueroa.
definitely getting an email this afternoon, as well as Miss Trustful. Aiden, you are done, bro. I can't lie. You will be getting an email from Mr. Graham.
Aiden Figueroa, you're
Miss Brooks.
Hey, one
is
second.
going?
I'm almost back to Teams. Okay, let me just finish up in there. Hello, Mr. Graham.
Hello, Mrs. Brooks. How are you today?
I am doing so at this point, can everyone
go.
turn their cameras on, please? All right, let me tell you what, Mr. Graham. Sounded like people in the class thought that you ought to come, and I had to agree. We are just coming out of VR. I got asked to come in here kind of in a last second situation. So I needed some help getting things going in VR. And we did finally, probably after about 10 minutes, got the assignment up there.
Okay, hold on, Miss Brooks, just 1 second.
Mhm.
Okay, Kai, lower your camera so I can see your face. Aiden, I can't see you. Connor, I can't see you. Noel, turn your camera on. Yampier, turn your camera on. Okay, you know the rule. And take your hats off. You got hats on, take them off, or hoodies. Get them off. All right, so
So
Go ahead.
we got the assignment up. There were some people that really helped me with that. I will be honest, I don't know who was doing things, so I can't name anybody, but it sounded like some of the kids thought that they knew what was happening. That's why I thought I'd bring you, because I thought you might know who some of these people are in this class already. And there was just a lot of things happening in VR that weren't supposed to be happening. Loud music, just stuff that was making it so people couldn't do their work when we finally got the assignment up. So I was
Okay.
just wondering
Well,
what.
once we go on, I'm going to have our tech people look at who that was. And here's the deal. If whoever did it is in here right now, you can let me know and you can still get some consequences. If you don't let me know, and when I do catch you, I'm probably going to move you to on demand for the rest of the quarter. Now, if that's what you want, you can have that. So it's going to be your choice. So either, and if you know who it is, if you're certain you know who it is, let me know, or you have a strong suspicion, let me know. Here's the deal, guys. Whoever was doing that, I don't want you in my school anymore if you're going to do that because you're interrupting class. You think you're being clever, getting over. Okay, and you might for a while, but eventually we're going to get you. So either you can face the consequences now, which there's going to be some, or you can face worse consequences later. But right now, Ms. Brooks, give them an assignment, make them just stay in class. And I'm sorry that everybody has to get punished for it because somebody else is just trying to ruin the class. But we'll have the tech folks look at who was doing that. We'll be able to go in and figure that out. And once we catch them, I'll deal with them and give them some consequences. Okay, so it's going to be up to. Again, we'll just see if anybody's in here has enough honesty and integrity to admit they did it. It's one of our virtues. All right, so we'll see if they did it and see if they're brave enough to face the consequences. Because there's going to be consequences, either some or some worse ones later. That's up to them. But right now, just give them an assignment to work on in teams until the class is over. Don't go back into VR because obviously somebody. And for those of you, I'm sorry, you wanted to go into VR. It's not everybody's fault, obviously, but sometimes it's just what happens. So
Yeah, and our class is over right now. This is the
Okay.
end right here. So I do want to say thank you for the many who were trying to help. I don't really know who did anything.
Well,
So
here's the deal, Ms. Brooks. Send a note to the tech folks with what happened today. Anybody that has any recordings, send that to Mrs. Brooks or myself, or you're just your regular teacher, Mrs. Trussell. I know she's getting sick today, and we'll figure out who did it. Okay. Sorry, guys, that happened. And whoever did it, if you're still in this room, shame on you. You are screwing up the class for everybody else. You're ruining someone's educational experience. And I really don't want you in the school anymore unless you can get it figured out. If you just don't want to be here anymore, let us know. Okay. We'd like you to be here, but if you can't act like a young man or young woman, you need to go somewhere else. All right. All right. I'll let you go. Ms. Brooks, and we'll talk to Mr. Trussell as well. Okay.
all right. Well, sorry everyone that's the way it went. Let's yes. Did you want to say something before you dismiss? Looking for whose email? Sorry. No, that was Kirby Graham. He is, I don't know his official title, but he helps a lot with behavior. So All right, guys. You were able to? Great. I believe that there's probably a place in Canvas for that to get uploaded. That's what I would think. Any yeah. Yeah, there definitely were some people, most everyone probably wasn't doing anything wrong. There's probably just one, maybe two, but I don't know who it is. So thank you to you who did help me, because that did help a lot. But you are dismissed, okay? If you don't have a question, our time is up. Yes, Noel? Noel?
My VR, like at the last couple of minutes of class when I was building, I lost all my progress because my VR said that engage was like my storage was too full to load.
Mm-hmm.
So like I lost all my work.
All right. Excuse me. I will let Ms. Tressel know that there were quite a few problems in this class period. And you are also welcome to, it probably would be good for you to send her a message in whichever form you usually do that, through email or whatever. And if she needs to ask me, then I can verify that you told me that, okay? Okay. Did anyone who's left here have anything more they wanted to ask? Because I'm going to need to admit some new students, unless you guys have something you want to say. Yes, Kai.
I am sorry this happened during your time, since I know that you are a pretty good substitute teacher from the Spanish class. So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. This is one of the reasons I was concerned about coming into VR before I knew like how to do everything or knew everything that could happen, because it's like, yeah,
also,
you guys are a little ahead of me.
This class is actually typically relatively fair and pretty good. So, oh wait,
well, that's what the teacher said.
I do remember in our group, MJ was crushing some of our group members with weights, but that isn't exactly the same as the other thing, right?
Yeah,
but
I think
he was crushing people underground and flipping them up into the sky in our group.
Well, one of the tough things is if someone's playing some loud music in our ears, we can't do anything. So
MJ has been doing quite a few things. Bye.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you. Horace, did you have something you wanted to say? Oh, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm. That is a good thought. Yes. Yes, and sadly, this was not expected to happen in this class, so I'm sure she's going to be sad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I haven't had that much experience, but when they have music playing super loud in your ears, that gets pretty tough. Like, who did that? How do you know who did it? So anyway, well, thanks for your input. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to figure something out of this. And thanks for your input. I appreciate it and your help. Goodbye.
See.
I see, I see. You'll have to give me the details a little bit later. Ooh, yep. Unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. That is unfortunate. I want the deets, though. You'll have to tell me a little bit later. Okay. How was yesterday's assignment? Good? Great? Amazing? Not the best? Didn't understand? Give me some feedback. How was it? Good? Just good? It wanted fractions for the last two. Yes, it does. And then there's something kind of quirky about this time as well. So I'll go over how to do that. When it asks for an exact answer, it means don't get a decimal. Like it wants a fraction, or today it's going to be like a square root, but simplified. So I'll go over how to do that. You've done it before. You might need a little bit of a refresher. Okay, for today, we are learning about the geometric mean and the mid segment. The geometric mean is not too shabby, not too bad. Pretty simple. Mid segment's also pretty simple, but it has some room for confusion. So please be attentive so you can learn how to figure out these proportions and everything. We learned proportions and ratios. We went over that yesterday because we're going to be using it a lot for the rest of this module. So the first thing we're talking about is the geometric mean, which is essentially how we compare two things to get a missing altitude. So here's the formula for it. And if we're ever asked to find the geometric mean between two numbers, those two numbers are going to be your A and B. Oh, someone's unmuted. Sounds like we're watching something. Carlos. Just to let you know, you were unmuted. You might want to pay attention. Okay. So where this comes from is actually a proportion right here. So when we have a over x and then x over b, if we do the cross products, we would get x squared, and this a times b, which would be, if we solved for x, we'd get the square root. That's where that comes from. But you don't need to remember all of that. Just remember this formula, and this is how we use it. Okay, so the geometric mean, find the geometric mean between 8 and 18. So let's remember we have, x equals square root of a times b, and a and b are going to be those two numbers. Oh, it's right here. So x equals the square root of 8 times 18. And let's see what 8 times 18 is. We've got 144. So x is the square root of 144, and you might have that memorized. If not, you can use your calculator to get that. X equals 12. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That part at least. So what do we use it for? I'll show you in this next example. So when we have a right triangle and an altitude, it splits that hypotenuse into two parts. Notice these two parts. We have 8 right here and we have 4 right here. If we want to find the height of that altitude, we are going to use the geometric mean for this. Or if we have the height, but maybe we're missing one of these other pieces, we can use it that way too. So make sure you have a right triangle and it connects it with an altitude. So remember, an altitude is a 90-degree angle as well. This is how we use it in this situation. So here, if I'm wanting to find the height of the altitude, I'm going to take the geometric mean of 8 and 4. So 8 times 4 is 32. And we have the square root of 32. Now, this is where it might get a little bit tricky with Wirus because they might ask you for an exact answer. An exact answer isn't you plugging in, oh, the square root of 32 equals, actually, let's see what it says. It says 5.656854, and it keeps going on for forever. Now, your calculator actually rounds this off. So you might think that that's an exact answer, but it's not. It actually is an approximation. So to get an exact answer, you have to simplify your square root. Now, this is something we haven't learned this year. You've learned it in algebra. So we have to go over it a little bit because it might be a little bit rusty. So I need to break this down to simplify it to its prime factors. This is my favorite way of simplifying. So I know 8 and 4 go into it. 8 can go down to 2 and 4, and 4 can go into 2 and 2. 4 here goes into 2 and 2. So my prime factors for all of these are 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Not done quite yet. I'm going to rewrite that as the square root of 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It takes 2 of these for it to be able to come out of the square root. And they come out and they're just 1, 2, or one of that same number. So that 2 gets to come out and be 1. This 2 gets to come out and be 1. And then what's left over is just 1, 2. So 2 times 2 is 4 square root of 2. And that would be our answer as a perfect, or like as an exact answer. Do you remember that? So like that seems vaguely familiar. Yes. Okay. So now let's go to our proportions. This is where you make sure your eyes are up here because I don't want you to get confused. I'm glad you like our proportions are going to, or let me back up. If we have a segment that cuts up a triangle and is parallel to one of the sides, then it's going to divide the other sides proportionally. So for example, here we have our triangle. Oops, that's not what I wanted. And we have this segment that's going in between here. If it's parallel, then it's going to cut these sides proportionally. So if we look here, we have this little arrow on both of those. That indicates that these are parallel. That's important. It's not saying they're congruent. It's saying they're parallel. Don't confuse them with a tick mark. So,
Parallel
if
means no matter
these,
how far you stretch them out, they don't touch, right?
sorry, they don't touch. Yes, correct. They'll never intersect. So these two are parallel. That means these sides are going to be cut proportionally. Now, how we set up these proportions, there's actually a lot of different ways. But I'm going to show you my top 2 ways of doing it. The first one is to do a part, so that piece, to the whole. Let me use some colors here. So this piece to the whole. But then the other side has to correspond to that. So it would be this piece to the whole. Or maybe it's not those, but do you notice how these correspond to each other? Because they're at the top, they're in that smaller triangle that's being formed. We can also do the other piece. We can do these to the whole or this piece to the whole. Do you see how that kind of works? The other way we can set it up, and we'll do an example of this, so maybe it will provide more clarification. The other possibility of doing it would be to just do the parts to their corresponding parts. So for example, the top to the bottoms. So I could do Fi for that 5 to the 3, and then the 8 to the X, which is actually what we're going to do in our next problem. That makes sense? Yes. Well, that means you're learning. Yeah? You're like, ooh, studying all this. All right, let's look at this. In the triangle, the line parallel, a line parallel to the base divides the sides into segments. This is the same figure we were looking at before, but now we need to find HG for GH. It's the same segment. So to set this up, I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I know those numbers are small. I'm going to do piece to piece. So 5 over 3 equals, and then the corresponding parts on the other side. So if I started with 5 over here, then I need to do, actually, let me erase that part. Oops. 8 here on this side. 2 X. Do you see how you set that up? Any questions on how to set it up? Oh, you guys are understanding this.
So you take the top triangle, the 5 from the top triangle, and the 3 from the bottom half of the triangle. That is one, and then you take the 8 and the X and do the other ones?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Just making sure I understand.
the order doesn't necessarily matter, just that corresponding parts are in the same spot. So for example, I could have also written this as like 3 to 5 equals X to 8. That's the same thing. That's going to get you the same thing.
Yeah, but
You
like
just
they
got to
have
make
to
sure.
be in that order. Like they have to be in the same part to make them one.
Same corresponding pieces need to be in the same spot. Yeah.
Okay, that's
So
easy.
to finish off, what we have to do is what we remembered yesterday, which is cross product. So I'm going to do 5 times X is 5X equals 3 times 8, which is 24. And then divide by 5, divided by 5, and X equals, and I would just leave it like this. But if you want to know an approximation, we can divide them out to get 24 divided by 5, which is 4.8. Okay, any questions? Excuse me. Okay, next one. It's similar, so we got to make sure we have corresponding pieces when we built our proportions. And we are looking for PL. PL is right over here. It's this piece. Okay. So let's build this proportion. Notice the difference here, though. Now we are given a whole. Whoa. And, ah. I'm scared. Okay, there we go. Don't know how that happened or why it happened. Don't know what I did. All right. We're given the whole right here. Do you see that? The whole side. But we know that this is 4 right there, so we can find the piece or we can do a comparison of the whole. I'm going to do a comparison with the whole just so you can see it being done and work it out with me. So I'm going to do part to whole. The part here is 4. So 4, and then the whole is 10. So, don't like that. Which equals, and now we have to do the same order, x to the whole, but ooh, we don't have the whole here, and that's okay. We can add them together to get the whole. So to add them together, we would have x plus 4. Okay, and you will have problems like this. That's why I want to do it with you. I'm going to make that just slightly smaller. Give myself some more room. So now what we need to do is cross products again. So 10 times x is 10x. And then we're going to do sweet. All right, let's talk about a mid segment. Oh, sorry. Yay, I'm glad you find it simple. So for a mid segment, it is a segment that connects the midpoints of 2 of the sides. And it's going to have 2 special properties. It's going to be parallel to the third side and also half of the third side. So let's look at this triangle and talk about it. We have our 2 sides right here. Notice how this point is the midpoint, 4 and 4. This point is also the midpoint, 4.5 and 4.5. So if we connect those 2 midpoints, this segment, this is called the mid segment right here. This mid segment is going to be parallel to that third side. So these 2 will be parallel. Notice the notation right here. It's an arrow saying that they are parallel, not that they are congruent. So that's the first thing, first property of a mid-segment is that they will be parallel. The second is that this will be half of this length. So notice this is 6, so this is 3. If this was 5, how long would this segment be? How long would the side be? Correct. Good. If this was 30, how long would the mid segment be? Good. Sweet. Right, so that's how those work, how mid segments work. Let's use it now to find a piece that we're missing. All right, I'm going to zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. Find the lengths of WA and ZA. So WA is this whole part right here, and I'm just going to call that X. for simplicity. And ZA is the side length right here, and I'm going to call that one Y. All right, so if this piece right here is 5, what's the length of X or WA? Yes, correct. It's going to be 5 plus 5, which is 10. And then ZA or Y, well, BC is 2.7. So AZ is going to be double that, which would be 5.4. Yes. And I'm going to erase this and replace it with WA. Okay. Questions on that? No? Sweet. So here's our little summary. We've got the geometric mean, we've got proportions in triangles, and we have mid segments.
Is it okay if I screenshot it?
Yeah.
I normally screenshot these because I write it in my notebook and then I put little sticky notes with the things that are really important. And I stick them underneath. I like making my notes creative so I remember them more.
Sounds good. I like it. All right. Did you get your screenshots? If you wanted them?
Sorry, can you go to the last page back? Sorry.
Okay, we're just doing very, very simple
Oh, I understand.
VR today. So let's
Wait,
head in.
ZA
and
is
get-
5.4? ZA
Yeah.
is 5.4 how?
Because it's double the mid segment. The mid segment right here is going to
I
be half
understand.
this.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Ms.
Oops.
Fletcher.
You're welcome. All right, let's head into VR if you haven't already. I will see you in there.
I am so sorry. It accidentally logged me out. It's been doing that lately.
Okay.
All right. Getting that set up for you guys. Okay. Go ahead and go to a station. Just pretty straightforward what you're doing today. You can work with one other person or you can work with yourself. We'll see how many people come in as we assign them. Madison, do you not know where to go? You can go anywhere. All right. You can work by yourself or work with one other person. So you guys can head to this station right here. How about you?
I'm working with Denai, so could I get 3D pen, please?
Yes. Okay. Yep, that works. You're welcome. There you go. Yep. Okay. 3D pen. Anora and Sophia, why don't you go work right over there? Yep, I'll give it to you. Yes. No, that's good. That's good. All right. Head on over. Okay.
If you don't mind, when you get free time, can I get a body? I don't like these peas.
Okay. Yep. All right. Remember, you can work with one other person or you can work on your own. So if there are 3 people at your station, you need to divide and conquer. All right. If you would like 3D pen, come see me. I'm here in the middle. If you don't already have it. Anybody want 3D pen? 3D pen? Hello, Michael. Together, we can do that in homework help. Okay? See you, Horace.